What's up, everybody? JVille Sports here with my daily sports picks video. It is Saturday, October the 6th. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for my NFL Week 5 video. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome Saturday, enjoying the college football out there. We are having a very, very good Saturday. We did have one upset loss. We had Boise State on our money line, so that killed it. But as far as our straight bets go, we are killing it right now. We'll see how the rest of the night goes, but very, very good college football day today. But let's go ahead and recap what we did over on the NFL side of things last week. So starting with our free bet of the week. So going into this, we were 3-0. So we're trying to go 4-0 for week 4. We had the Saints and Giants over 52. The final score was 33-18. The New York Giants just could not get the offense rolling. They only scored 18 points at home. This ends at 51. This line moved up as we got closer to kickoff. So if you got this line earlier in the week, you actually probably would have won. But when I put out the video, like I'm doing with this one, it's the night before. So you're pretty much getting the worst of the line in some cases. And that's what happened here. We missed it by 1 point. So we're now 3-1 with our straight bets, or our free bets, I should say. So 3-1, I mean, that's 75%, so that's awesome. So we'll keep it going. I'll definitely have another one today. And let's go ahead and recap what we did. So with my NFL videos, what we do is a long shot teaser. There's a lot of games that I usually like as far as teaser goes. So I've thrown them all together into one big long shot teaser. We haven't hit it yet. We've gotten super close, but I think we're going to definitely hit it sooner or later. That's for sure. But over on the Patreon side of things, I do give out a more safe teaser, because this one, like I said, it's usually 11 teams. It's a teaser where the payout is more than $1,000. That's what makes it a long shot. So quickly, I'll recap what we had last week. We only missed it by 3. I mentioned when I gave this one out, I really, really liked it. So if you were able to pluck out some of these for yourself, because I don't recommend taking all 11, then you might have had a nice teaser for yourself as well. So really quickly here, we had the Indianapolis Colts +6. They actually should have, I don't want to say they should have won the game, but it actually should have ended in a tie. They went for it on 4th down around midfield, did not get it, should have got it. Should have gotten it, I should say, and probably should have won that game, really. But it was a back and forth game with the Texans. A very, very good game, but the +6 really wasn't in jeopardy. Actually, Colts were down, I think, double digits, but then they came right back. So, anyways, +6 was a winner. New York Giants, I mentioned, they just looked really, really bad last week after coming off a nice win over the Texans. The Saints did what the Saints do. They scored a lot of points, 33 points on the road. Giants failed to cover the teaser, 10.5 points. Baltimore Ravens +10. They were underdogs and they won outright against the Steelers and looked very good doing it. The Los Angeles Chargers, this one was a head scratcher. The 49ers come to town without Jimmy G, and they really should have won this game. The Chargers had to come back and win this game. Very, very pitiful performance by the Chargers, but they did come away with the win. But even with the teaser, they did not cover, missed it by 1 point. Jacksonville Jaguars -0.5 point. This one was super easy at home against the Jets. Never in doubt. Eagles Titans under 48. This is another one. This was bad luck. This game went into overtime and never should have. The Eagles just kept giving up big 3rd downs, big 4th downs to try to win the game. So the Titans ended up coming back, tying the game, and they win it in overtime. Should have stayed under that 48, but with the overtime, it ended at 49. We missed it by 1 point. So we missed this under by 1 point. We missed the Chargers by 1 point. And then the Giants, we missed it by a little bit more than that. So this was a very, very close attempt. We just missed this one. We had the Packers -2.5, super easy at home against the Bills. I had that as one of my best straights, minus the 9, 9.5, whatever you would have gotten it at. Easy win there at home. Detroit Lions +10. This was one that they could have won as well as underdogs on the road against the Cowboys, but they lost but covered with the teaser. Buccaneers Bears over 39. I think the Bears scored 39 by themselves. So this one was never in doubt. I think the Bears had like 21, and after the first quarter, or maybe even more than that. Anyways, it went way over the 39. Bengals winners outright as underdogs against the Falcons. Shouldn't have won that game, I don't think, but they did with the teaser. Very, very easy. Patriots at home against the Dolphins, coming off 2 straight losses. You knew they were going to come back, and they did. Easy win there. And so, like I said, we had 11 here, hit 8 out of 11. 2 of them missed it by 1. So very, very close attempt here. So we will look to do it again this week. And also I mentioned my Patreon page. So that's where I post all my plays every single day. On here, I give out usually a free play and a bigger bet, like that teaser, or in college football, I give out a long shot parlay which is a parlay with all of my leans. And then with baseball, I give out some free plays and other sports as well. But the majority of my picks, my best bets, are over on the Patreon side of things. So this is what it looks like. This is how to get there. patreon.com/JVille Sports. Again, patreon.com/JVille Sports. Very, very easy site to use. I post all my plays directly on this page. You'll get an email notification letting you know the picks are there. So it's very, very easy to use, and you never miss a play. So if you're interested in more than just my free plays, definitely check that out. As an example, this is what we had last week. For the NFL, I gave out 4 straight bets. We had the Raiders -2.5. That was a cover. Packers, like I just mentioned before, -9.5. That was a cover. We had the Lions Cowboys under 44. Some late heroics by the Cowboys pushed that one over, but it very easily could have went under there. So that was our one loss. And then we had the Saints -3. As I mentioned, winners on the road against the Giants. So we were 3-1 with our straight bets, so at 75%. So very, very good week. We also had a money line parlay that also came in. So very, very good week last week. So that's an example of what you see over on the Patreon side of things. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. If you have any questions about it, my email, my social media pages are right down below. So just definitely let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and I'll definitely be happy to answer that. But let's go ahead and move on to this week. It is week 5 already. So let's go ahead and start with our long shot teaser. Let me pull it up on the screen here. So let's get into it. So we have the Falcons and Steelers over 51. This is a super high total. So this is, before I go further, this is a 7-point teaser. Usually it's recommended you do 6 points because obviously with extra points, it reduces the odds, so you definitely get more bang for your buck if you do 6-point teaser. But in my opinion, points are a premium in the NFL, so I like to do 7. As you saw, we had 2 bets just last week that missed by 1 point, so that 1 point can make a difference. So we have Falcons and Steelers over 51. So the original line here is 58, which is super, super high, but neither of these teams can stop anybody. Both have good offenses. Atlanta, typically not as good away from the dome, but again, that Steelers defense is so bad, especially in the secondary. Julio Jones should have a field day here, so I love this going over 51. Giants, they screwed us last week. I'm going to ride them again this week. They're on the road. They seem to be playing better this year on the road, so this is where they're at against the Carolina Panthers, plus 13.5. Panthers dealing with a lot of injuries, especially over on the defensive side of the ball. And offensively, they're not really blowing teams away either. They don't have a great receiving corps. They're throwing the ball a lot to Christian McCaffrey, and I would too. He's great. And then Cam Newton doing his thing, running the ball, and Greg Olsen's out, so that hurts the offense. So just not a very good Carolina Panthers team. So giving 13.5 here to the Giants, I think, is good. Vikings and Eagles over 40. These are 2 teams coming off losses. Both of them are going to be motivated here to win this game. It's going to be a very, very good game. Vikings supposed to have a very good defense, but they haven't really shown it lately. They're dealing with some injuries as well. So I think this game is going to go over 40, except, like I said, both these teams want to win this game, and they're going to come out firing. Rams and Seahawks under 57. So this is a division game. Usually when these teams match up, the games are pretty close. Seahawks at home. They're always tough there, even though the defense is not as good. They lost Earl Thomas last week, so kind of a mess right now, but I think the Rams aren't going to go too crazy here. They're undefeated. They definitely want to get out of this one, minimizing the injuries, which they do have as well. A lot of teams dealing with some injuries. So I think a lot of running here with Todd Gurley for the Rams, and the same for the Seahawks. A lot of running, keeping the ball away from this Rams offense. So I like this game. Division rivalry game, under 57.5. It's going to be a hard-fought game. Houston Texans +4. They're at home against the Cowboys. Cowboys got a win last week. They didn't really look impressive doing it. They're just not very good offensively. Now they travel on the road to face this Texans team. I like the Texans here. Even if they don't win the game, they shouldn't lose by more than a field goal. Arizona Cardinals +10.5. Another division game in the NFC West against the 49ers. I think this team kind of rallied and, kind of got together for Beathard in his first start this year after Jimmy G got hurt. So I think they regress a little bit here, and I don't think they're going to be playing as well. He's not that good of a quarterback. This is double digits. Josh Rosen for the Cardinals makes his first start on the road, so a little bit of a question mark there, but the Cardinals defense is pretty good, and I don't think the 49ers are just going to do whatever they want, even at home. So probably the 49ers win this game, but I don't think it's going to be by double digits. Oakland Raiders +13 against the San Diego Chargers. We mentioned them earlier. Not a great performance. They barely beat those 49ers. So now they have Oakland, LA against Oakland against LA. But I think it's going to be more Oakland fans in this. Not many people show up for the Chargers in LA. So +13 for the Oakland Raiders. Probably another game where I don't think the underdog is going to win, but I think they can keep it close. Oakland's coming off their first win, kind of get over that hump. Now they can start to build on that. Miami Dolphins +13. This team got smashed by the Patriots last week. Kind of knew that was going to happen. They were kind of a lucky team so far this year based on who they've been playing. But I think the Bengals here, they're dealing with a lot of injuries as well. They lost Eifert last week, so that's going to hurt their offense. I think they get Mixon back in the mix, running the ball, but he's going to be limited here coming back from injury. I just like the Dolphins team here in the spot to come close. The Cincinnati has had so many close calls, and I think it's going to be a close call here. I think Dolphins can keep this game close. Packers +8 against the Lions. You gotta like what the Packers are doing right now. Aaron Rodgers still not 100%, but I think he's getting better each week. Lions, still a lot of question marks with this team. They lose to Dallas, who's not very good offensively. And now you got Green Bay Packers here coming to town. They're dealing with some injuries. I think Randall Cobb is banged up. But I like the Packers here. Even if they don't win the game +8, they can definitely keep this game close. Division game, usually played pretty tough. Jacksonville Jaguars +10. Very, very good game here against the Kansas City Chiefs. Undefeated Chiefs. Very impressive come from behind win against the Broncos. I love giving the Jaguars defense points when you can. +10 here. I don't think Kansas City goes undefeated. This could be a situation where they have a slip up. Coming off of Monday night, short week here. This Jaguars team is going to be motivated here to win this game. They're going to be fired up. So I like this game to stay close. Not quite sure who's going to win, but I think Jacksonville can keep this one close. And last but not least, Baltimore Ravens +4. They're facing the Cleveland Browns. When this Ravens defense faces a young quarterback, they usually dominate. They look very, very good against the Steelers. This is just a very good Ravens team this year. They're looking like the favorites to win the division. We'll see what happens. They did lose to Cincinnati earlier in the year, so it's going to be a close division with the Steelers in the mix as well. But even if they lose this game on the road against the Browns, I don't think it's going to be by more than a field goal. But I do think the Ravens here can win this game on the road. They're the better team. Just a little bit of a tough spot. They played Sunday night. Now they travel on the road. But I like this spot for the Ravens. So that's this week's edition. So 11-team teaser here. I like all of these. 50 will pay out $1,000. That is our long shot teaser for week 5. Again, I probably don't recommend taking all 11, but if there's 5 or 6 in there that you like last week, we only missed it by 3. There were 8 winners in there. Definitely pluck out a few that you like and see what happens. So hopefully this is the one that comes through for us. Now let's go ahead and move on to today's free bet of the week. I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. I'm going to go, I think the best team in all of the NFL right now is the St. Louis Rams, even ahead of the Chiefs. Yeah, I stand by that. As of now, it's early. It's only week 5. But I'm going to go against them this week. It's a division game. They're on the road against the Seahawks. They're kind of fat and happy right now. They're dealing with some injuries on the defense. So I think Seattle here, they're dealing with injuries as well. I just think this is going to be an ugly game. A lot of running the ball, eating up the clock. So I think it's going to be, like I mentioned earlier, a lower scoring game. And with lower scoring games in the NFL, you tend to go with the underdog. So I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks here. I don't think they win this game, but 7.5 at home. Seattle, very, very tough place to play. Again, division game. These teams usually play each other tough. They know each other very well. Seattle Seahawks plus 7.5 is what we're going to be going with for our free bets of the week. And that's going to wrap up today's video. So like I said, over on the Patreon side of things, I'm going to have all my best straight bets. I'm going to have my best teaser bet, my best money line parlay bet that we hit last week. Very, very good week 4. We're looking to do the same thing week 5. So if you're interested in those plays, definitely check out my Patreon page because that's where they will be. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's video. Thank you guys again so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys shortly. Good luck with everything that you guys do.